The photos suggest a Palestinian so badly beaten the blood was running down his face. Publishing such an inflammatory photo had to generate extreme outrage against the Israeli, and the Times had to know it. But the caption was effectively a lie. The victim of a Jew beaten by Arabs. The Israeli policeman was defending the victim. When the New York Times was forced to retract, they did it grudgingly and then added another lie to the story until public outrage forced them to come clean with the real story. The action of the Times was so outrageous that the media watchdog organization was born in response.
Thank you, Muhammad, for that informative report. The major type of niche tourism represented in Israel is spiritual tourism. Millions of tourists travel annually to participate in spiritual pilgrimage from various different religious backgrounds because of the historical significance of the area. There are three major religions in the world that claim a rite of passage through Jerusalem. This contributes to the growing problem of terrorism in the midst of tourism. The convergence of three populations of different religious backgrounds in one area creates turmoil that stems from the past and ongoing violent history. This chaos exemplifies the ongoing struggle between governments and their people to maintain peace and steady tourism demand and development. Events such as these are contributing to the perceived decrease in security in Israel. This contributes to the decrease in tourism demand due to the perceived threat to personal safety and security of each individual tourist. Our sister network, MSNBC, has provided us with footage of a bulldozer attacking a tour bus, injuring many and killing 2 people.
Breaking news. Israeli police say at least 2 people were killed this morning when a bulldozer driver went on a rampage on a busy Jerusalem street. This is video just into MSNBC from moments ago. You can see there, that's the bulldozer. This is quite an attack. The driver plowed into a crowded bus, and apparently, as this went down just recently, he injured dozens of people before the driver of the bulldozer was killed by police. Police say they are treating the incident as a terrorist attack and not an accident. So again, a Palestinian bulldozer driver plowed into a string of vehicles on a busy Jerusalem street early today, killing 2 people and wounding dozens of others before he was shot dead by police. We'll be following this story.
In developing news, an independent amateur videographer has recently released this footage of an Israeli warship terrorizing a local tourist beach on the Gaza Strip, massacring all tourists and patrons of the beach. Be aware that this content is extremely graphic in nature. Wow, unbelievable. Well, that brings us to the end of our program. Thank you for watching. I'm Majid Iqbal, and that was your 6 o'clock news with MTN.
Tourism is reliant on people's willingness to travel to destinations of interest. Tourism trends change over time. The Mediterranean region has a large diversity of cultures scattered over more than 10 nations. Due to the close proximity of these countries, conflicts are bound to arise. Currently, terrorism is one of the largest barriers in tourism development for all these nations in the Mediterranean. Since the 9/11 attacks on the United States, countries all around the world have been negatively affected by the aftermath. The Mediterranean region specifically has been affected tremendously and continues to struggle with producing a solution to the problem at hand: terrorism. The growth of tourism in those countries continues to hinder, and the number of tourists decrease every year because of the turmoil each nation faces. Neighboring countries have difficulties with one another, such as Palestine and Israel, and other surrounding countries are affected by their problems. Terrorism not only affects the region of the Mediterranean, but could possibly affect all nations around the world. Just because we live in a nation like Canada, where we are isolated from many of the world's problems, doesn't mean we should ignore this reality. Terrorism is a continuing occurrence that can happen anywhere in the world and affects all forms of tourism. The video clip about to be shown is very controversial and could possibly be the future for many of these tourist destinations. Due to the influx of terrorism in these areas, a new form of niche tourism could possibly be adopted: terror tourism.
I Israel langs grænsen til Gaza der opstået en makaber form for turisme.
It bombs that and not the helicopter.
Fra bakketoppene følger israelerne med i bombardementerne af Gaza og indtager deres medbragte mad i frokostpausen samtidig.
We want to see it in our own eyes, not from television point of view. They chose Hamas to rule them. It's their fault. They got it to where it is now, not us.
But don't you think it'll get worse by bombing them?
No, I think that's the only solution. I think they should just clear off all the city. Just take it off the ground. Yes, I'm a little bit fascist.